John, a student of mine who's a mid-handicap golfer, around about sort of 13 handicap, said to me, he can't be the only person that hasn't tried this trending drill from Cowan. And I promise you, he didn't even realise that he needed to work on his backswing. Now this drill is really associated around where your bottom of your left arm is at the top of the backswing and your left shoulder. Now this is vital for keeping that relationship to the ball, which is a store of power. Now the effects that this had on John's game was simply, he improved his ball speed with driver around 6 miles an hour. And if you're thinking, what does that mean in the real world? That's like 15 to 20 yards, a club longer, which means you're hitting a club less into the green. Now I would say this almost makes your golf swing feel natural. Now, as I just said, John didn't realise that he needed to make this change. So I think you should definitely have a look at your top of the backswing position. And what I want you to put a focus on is, and what we're really looking for, imagine there was a red area underneath my arm here. Feel as though it's pointing down to the ground at all times throughout that backswing. It's not raising and pointing out in this direction. If it is, you've got to think, if I level this off and my arm's pointing over here, what motion do I have to make in the downswing? Well, we won't go down that route, you know what that is. So the first part, on the first of 5 stages here, is we're going to get a split grip. Now, it's really important you take good note there of where my hand position is. So my hands are around shoulder width apart. My glove hand, I should be able to see the top of my logo. My right hand is sort of palm to the ground. And if we're being sort of realistic here, we should just have a little bit of bend in our right and a nice straight in our left. So starting position is this. I want you to really, come on, I mean this every single time. Stick to what I say. Follow the 5 stages if you want it to last. By all means, if you want to skip to the end, you might get the end result, but it won't last in your game. And I want you to last. I want you to last 18 holes of good golf. So follow all 5. So if you have a look at me here, I want you to do this for 8 to 12 reps, where we keep this sort of split grip. We sort of feel as though we're spiraling up, and our left arm for a right-handed golfer is feeling as though it's always pointing to the ground. You'll also notice my shoulder is also pointing to the ground. Just have that feeling. That action right there is all we're trying to emulate. Now, the first thing that John said to me is, oh my Lord, Alex, I feel like I'm actually swinging it shorter, but I feel like I'm tipping down. And in reality, it will feel like that for the first part. So first one of 5 stages, split grip, 8 to 12 reps, focusing on a pause at that top. Let's go 3 to 5 seconds, really giving us a chance to build some muscle memory, just like that. Let's now move swiftly on to stage 2. Give me a quick check though. You won't get any power in your swing if you've not got the right grip. So just make sure you got it in the fingers, all fingers off, apart from the first. Dead easy, little grip check that you've got to follow. So now at stage 2, I want you just to grab that golf club in your glove hand. No golf balls hit right now. We're building up to that where you're going to really see those improvements. I want you to feel again, you're going to load that club. Now, if you don't have the right grip, you'll never be able to load the club into this L position. You'll notice my arm is still pointing to the ground, and so are my shoulders. The key thing here is we start to understand what the weight of the club is. Set it, drop it, turn it. I want you to do again 8 to 12 reps following this exact method. What John said to me here is, and I think it's important to listen to what he says, it's no point just listening to what I say as a golf pro, it's important to understand what someone relative to you said. He said he felt that the club was falling into position. And that's essentially the combining a better grip and that set with our arm pointing to the ground. So for 8 to 12 reps, feel that stage 2. Now at stage number 3, all I want you to do is actually hit towards something. So whether it be a tee peg that you've got at the driving range or just a tee peg on the floor, a piece of grass, whatever it is, have that sole intention of now completing what you did at stage number 2, but simply just do this with an intention towards hitting to something. Again, I can't reiterate this enough. It will really feel as though you're letting the weight of the club work for you. That's why it feels more natural, that's why it feels more powerful, and that's why it feels as though you're keeping a much better relationship to the ball. We're not standing, we're not moving, we're not all over the place. Okay, final 2 stages, this is where we start to hit and see that 6 miles an hour increase. You can now grab that ball, right? This is where we're gonna start hitting. Now I want you to really do this the way I'm gonna do it. We're gonna feel, before we hit any shot at stage number 4, we're gonna do a pause here. And it will feel as though your hands are just around shoulder height, I would say. But again, look what I've got. Almost a red section underneath my tricep here, pointing to that ground. I'm gonna stand here, pause it, okay, feel it for 3 seconds, come back to the golf ball, one look, hit. Trying to emulate that exact position. Now for me, if what I would say is a stock drive when I'm fully like on the golf course is around 260. Now just bear in mind what I just put into that shot, not a lot, and I got 263. And in terms of ball speed, just to show you what it does for me, remember, for John, this saw an increase of 6 miles an hour. I'm gonna hit one more for you in a second though to really show you the full difference. But in terms of ball speed, what this did for me, with a very smooth hit, 158 miles an hour. I would take that on a full out shot. So what I'm trying to say is, I got so much more for doing a lot less. So your stage number 4, you're gonna pause it before every shot. I would say let's hit some around what you feel is 3/4 speed. When you're feeling more confident, you can then build up to full speed. And I'm gonna show you what this ball speed does for me. Just because John didn't want to be on camera, and I can just show you what this is gonna increase for me. But you've got to think about it. Why did we go through all these stages? We don't want this. We're gonna load it in front of us, but we've got to load it correct on the way back. If we're not having to change our relationship to the ball, this is why the weight of the club works its way back nice and easy. Okay, so my final one here, my simple swing thought for the course, and I'll be honest, I do what I did at stage number 4, but I just put a bit more speed into it. I still feel that for 1 rep, 1 look, keep it flowing, and hit it just a little bit more in there. Because that's what we want, isn't it? A little bit more in the shot. And the proof is well and truly in the pudding. The first one, 158. The second one there, 163. Now that's what I saw. But more importantly, John saw 6 miles an hour, which meant he had 1 club less into the green. Thanks so much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Plus, how quiet is my net? Just noticed that. Even when I ramp up the speed, it's still extremely quiet. Thanks for watching.